Enrollment RX Core delivers extensive functionality that transforms Salesforce into a recruitment and admissions CRM solution for enrollment management in higher education. Easily configure with clicks, not code, the product provides the necessary architecture and automation for colleges and universities to deploy Salesforce for their recruiting and admissions CRM needs. Enrollment RX Core is a highly scalable solution that delivers industry-leading functionality that most schools are seeking for their enrollment management. In this demo, we will cover the following items. 1. The configurable admin panel that controls automation for recruitment, admission, and decision. 2. Managing related objects such as test scores, recommendation, and transcripts. 3. Creating and managing multiple requirement checklists. 4. Touchpoint configuration for student engagement tracking. And 5. Lead assignment and queues. Before we move into the demo, I just want to show you what automation looks like represented visually. Basically, to use Salesforce for recruitment, admission, and decision, you will need to utilize some of the standard objects, such as contacts and accounts, as well as custom objects that meet the needs of higher education. What Enrollment RX does is to create those objects for you, but more importantly, build in the automation to move students along the recruitment funnel, track their statuses, and engagement points, among many other things I'll show you in this demo. I should note as well, this demo will cover the recruitment and admission part of this chart. Please see the separate Reader RX demo to learn about the decision component. Now let's log into Salesforce. From the home page, there's a tab called Admin Panel that provides access to all the robust capabilities of ERX Core. In this demo, we will hit on a few of the ways Enrollment RX automates Salesforce for recruitment, admission, and decision. We'll first look at the Quick Access panel, and this is what controls what appears on the application page layout. As we look at an example of an application, we can see how this functionality shows related records such as education history, test score, recommendations, etc. in one convenient view. What we're looking at here is a set of requirements that this student needs to complete. Creating checklist requirements is part of the admin core, and we'll delve into that shortly. This panel here allows you to edit dates like received, due date, whether or not you want this requirement to be displayed on the portal, as well as any internal and external portal comments. Finally, there's the ability to change the status from, say, approved to required to submitted, etc. You can also create additional requirements at an individual level by clicking Add New Document. This button allows for you to select which object this new document should come from, as well as the name and additional requirements that should be displayed to the student. I also want to point out on the very top, there is a progress bar that allows you to track the student stages throughout the funnel. These stages can also be controlled back on the admin panel. An additional functionality with the Quick Access panel allows for you to select which values necessitate if a document is pending or received. This again relates back to the progress bar we just saw, as well as the application checklist items in the application itself. We saw how we can manage checklist requirements, but let's see how we actually create them. Checklist requirements are another critical component of ERX Core and allows for institutions to create multiple checklist requirements that can be applied to any set of students with criteria such as program level, student type, international versus domestic, etc. As you can see here, there are opportunities to create dozens upon dozens of different types of checklists. We'll look at one in particular to see how they're comprised. We'll take a deeper look at the application requirement set called Masters_International. This application requirement set is comprised of two screens. First, the detail that just tells you a little bit more about who created this, last modified, and whether or not this should be displayed to the applicant. Clicking on Related, this shows all of the documents that are associated with this requirement set. For example, we can see here that anyone who's a Masters International student has to have an application fee, as well as a GRE, TOEFL, information sheet, resume, and essay. If I wanted to add a new requirement to this application set, Masters International, that means every student who has this as part of the requirement set will now see this additional requirement. We saw previously how you could add an individual document to an individual student. By clicking New, I'm brought to our configuration screen. On here, I can choose again which object I want this requirement to come from. For example, admissions requirement recommendation, we'll do, say, education history. Then you choose your item name, and I'll pick out college transcript. You also can change the name of this item to display differently on the applicant portal. Here, I'm labeling it College Transcript Official. Additional items are the ability to display this to the applicant. So this may be an internal checklist I'm adding, or it could be one that I want the applicant to see. I also can choose what order it's displayed, instructive text, the ability to upload a document if I want, and then also System Protect. This means as a student moves from different criteria that potentially may assign him or her a new set of requirements, we always want this college transcript to be a part of the application checklist. Now that we've seen the application requirement set from the admin view, let's return to the user view. I'm on a student, Pam Prospect. Again, I can see her progress bar, what % of application requirements are complete, and then if I scroll down, I can see the requirement set that she's assigned to. I do want to note that this field here to the right, % complete, 18%, as well as the documents missing, which are a collection of any of the requirement checklist items she's missing and any new requirements you've added to her, are both mergeable fields that can be added into an email and sent to the student. Now, back to the admin panel. Another component of Enrollment RX Core I want to highlight is Assignment Manager. This functionality allows for you to create rules of how students are assigned owners and who those owners should be. First, let's take a look at assignment rules. You can see that you're able to create rules such as by zip code. I can see a rule exists that says anyone that has a zip code starting with 1 will be assigned to Ed Transformation. Rules can be assigned to one owner, or you can send them to a queue. So in our zip code rule, anyone with a zip code starting with 9 will be assigned to a West Coast queue of people. Now, looking at queues, we can see that a rule can dictate leads to be assigned to a queue of people in a round-robin fashion. Remember, anyone starting with a zip code of 1 was assigned to Ed Transformation, an individual user. However, anyone with a zip code starting with 9 was assigned to the West Coast queue, which is comprised of a series of people. Clicking queue members, I can see here that there are 4 people in this queue. First, Paul is marked green, so that means he's on deck for the next lead to be assigned to him. After that, we see Nina, but she's marked invalid, which means that the subsequent lead coming in would skip her. This is a useful functionality if you temporarily need to halt assigning leads to a person. Maybe Nina's out on vacation, so you mark her invalid, and then she comes back, is now valid, and ready to be assigned leads. So with her being invalid, the next lead that would come in would move to Debbie Director, and then the next to Aaron, and so on and so on. Another powerful tool of Enrollment RX's core is the ability to create touch points. It's important to identify a student's first point of entry or lead source, but it's also crucial to monitor that engagement throughout the recruitment process. Touch points are a way to track each and every time a student engages with you through methods like email, phone, or by filling out a form, applying for admission, or visiting campus. For example, we'll look at it from a user. Here's Pam Prospect. Because we've enabled touch points, we can see some things about her. First, we can see her initial source was Stealth Applicant. However, we also can see that through touch points, she's engaged with us via a high school fair, she's filled out a form, attended an open house, and again, that Stealth app through Common App. These touch points are useful for predictive modeling, but also for ensuring that you are staying connected to your students at all times. These touch points are easy to configure through the admin panel. Right here, we have examples of touch points that are created on campaigns, as well as through leads. However, our functionality allows for you to enable out-of-the-box touchpoint configurations on many objects, such as task, event, application, etc. Back again on the admin panel, I want to quickly point out that ERX Core also automates much of the movement of leads to contacts and applications and provides the ability to clone objects and related items. And while we just covered a portion of the automation that EnrollmentRx provides through its core product, it's important to note that much of what I showed you is all drag and drop and is easily configurable to meet your needs. Salesforce is a powerful platform that provides the ability for organizations to scale, innovate, and grow. And the EnrollmentRx suite of products like Core is essential for schools to capitalize on that power by using tools designed for ease of implementation and continued use. For any additional questions about ERX Core or any of our other products, check us out at enrollmentrx.com or email us at asktheadmin@enrollmentrx.com. Thank you.